on Filipino troops fighting in the jungles along a 200-mile defense arc. A report is making a grim last-ditch stand. All available forces have now been united. The 80,000 troops on that defensive arc had been driven back to the BATAAN Peninsula as the Japanese took control of the main Philippine island of Luzon. The 1942 radio report did not say that 80,000 men now existed in a steamy, malaria-infested jungle with little food, water, or medicine, and were fighting with their backs to the wall. Using World War I weapons, they fought the most modern war machine in the Pacific, with predictable results. But they were only holding on. Help was on the way. Washington had promised it any day now. Their fighting spirit was fed only by rumor.
Everybody believed it. Rumor fed on rumor. And when men are desperate, they will believe almost anything. They talk about the 100-mile convoy of ships that was on the way from the United States to the Philippines. And that pretty soon it would arrive, and the Japanese enemy would just melt away.
No help was on the way. President Roosevelt and his advisors had decided to fight the war in Europe first. But the troops here believed. Every day they watched the horizon for the help that would never come because it was never sent. The people here had hope, but that's all they had.
Over and over again, while in that foxhole, that young man would realize the grenades that they gave him, only 2 grenades out of 25 went off. This was 1918 ammunition. The Japanese mortars went every single time. They worked. The boys would slowly get the idea, and it was true, that they were the abandoned Americans. The abandoned Americans.
The troops were on their own. There weren't going to be any reinforcements. There weren't going to be any supplies. Rations were cut to half, then to a third. The men ate what they could find. First the cavalry's horses, then the quartermaster's mules, then water buffalo, monkey, snake, lizard, whatever they could find, but it wasn't enough.
Oh, yeah. See, we ate up the cavalry. We laugh and joke about it. Now we've eaten the cavalry. What are we going to do next?
Next, they got sick. Exhausted, hungry men in 100-degree temperatures without medical help. More men died of disease than were killed in battle. Many more. The Americans and Filipinos held on. February 8, 1942, 2 months after he landed, General Masahari Homa called off the attack. He had lost 7,000 men. The Japanese pulled back to wait for reinforcements, battle-hardened veterans from the victory at Singapore. The Americans just waited. March 11th, General MacArthur was ordered to Australia, and General Jonathan Wainwright took command of what was left. Headquarters was on Corregidor Island. In the worst of it, General Wainwright went from position to position talking to his men. When his aides insisted that he take cover from the constant enemy fire, he refused. He said he had nothing left to give his men. He had no food, no water, no ammunition, no equipment, no supplies. All he had left was morale. Just morale. General Homa could have starved the defenders into submission, but Tokyo's orders were to destroy them in combat, to demonstrate Asian superiority. His reinforced troops got ready. 45 days after the attack stopped, General Homer's troops were ready. It was April 3rd, 1942, Good Friday. The Japanese wanted the high ground at Mount Summit. They got it.
The men were utterly exhausted from a shortage of food, from daily hunger, from no medicine, no rest, no reinforcements, from bad ammunition, from the filth and the dirt and the dust of BATAAN.
It was a nightmare. Cannon fire, screams, banzai, Japanese hollering, Filipinos shooting up there, Americans scared, people praying. It's just fear, just gut fear. I mean, the face of something. It was hell. If there was hell, it was here.
We took very serious casualties, and we only was able to stay there one day. We were ordered to fall back to higher ground to the rear, and I had probably less than 60 to 70 men somewhere along there. Lost all my machine guns. We didn't have any ammunition. Very, very black night for me and everybody, actually.
From Australia, General MacArthur ordered a counterattack against Mount Summit. There is disagreement about whether General MacArthur knew the true condition of the troops on BATAAN. They were wounded, exhausted, diseased. No one knows how many died trying to get there, unable to survive this last effort.
Well, it was a brutal thing. I was in the Air Corps, and I didn't know anything about bayonet fighting. And we learned, though, the hard way, the cruel way. And we finally did fight our way back and try to get some sort of organization. We had done our best. We'd held out as long as we could.
The men had nothing left to give. They ran, some fleeing toward the safety of Corregidor Island, 3 miles across Manila Bay. From Corregidor, General Wainwright radioed Washington. BATAAN has fallen. It was April 9th, 1942. 76,000 American and Filipino troops surrendered to the Japanese in the largest single capitulation in American history. Some of the men made it to Corregidor. Hundreds of others died trying.